Hey YouTube, it's your girl Nurse Now and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about an important part of your application process for CRNA school, and that's going to be the resume. The resume is a way for you to highlight your skills and your accomplishments. It's your time to shine, not to lie. The resume is a way for you to market yourself. You're selling yourself to the admissions committee to let them know why you are the best fit for the program. You're going to have to be able to speak on those things that you write down on your resume. So basically, if you can't back it up, leave it out. In this two-part video, we're going to talk about the common mistakes that are made on healthcare resumes. And in the second part of this video, I'm actually going to show you guys my resume that I submitted for my CRNA school application. This isn't the one that I use for my job, so it's a little bit different, but I want you guys to see what I did for my resume. So this isn't necessarily a mistake, but it's more rather an old concept that I used to do actually when I did my resumes when I was back in high school, and it's the objective. There is no reason for you to put an objective on your resume unless it is absolutely spectacular and it includes something that you didn't tell the admissions committee already. I forgot to put my phone on silent. There's no reason for you to say, my objective is to get into your CRNA school. Okay, great, they already know that. So if you don't have an objective that's going to blow them away, I really wouldn't include that because you can utilize that space for other important things so that your resume isn't too long. Number 2, list your credentials correctly. You are not, and I am not, Nurse Now, RN, BSN. It is BSN, RN. The ANCC has a standardized process for this. The first thing that goes after your last name is going to be your degree, then your license, and then your certifications. That's the standard, follow that. As much as RN BSN sounds better than BSN RN, you don't want to make that common mistake on your resume for CRNA school. Next is another one of my pet peeves, and it's action words. In my past resumes, I use this phrase a lot, a whole lot. And when you're listing your descriptions of what you've done at your job, you do not want to say responsible for this, responsible for that, responsible for that, because you're basically just telling them the things that you had to do. You really want to demonstrate and not just describe. So demonstrating goes beyond just saying that I'm responsible for something. Usually the word that you put after responsible for is probably the word that you should use instead. To start that sentence off, you might have to change the tense or something like that. So other words that you can use instead of responsible for are conducted, organized, advocated, educated, developed, implemented, achieved, influenced, directed. And these are all action words that you can use to further demonstrate what you've done at that job. In addition to that, you want to be as specific as possible. So if you took care of certain patient population on a certain type of unit, include that. Whenever you can include numbers, do it. So if you want to say that you worked at a 14-bed CVICU, put those numbers in there. You don't just want to say as your job as a registered nurse is that you monitor and assess patients. What kind of patients? How many patients did you manage during your time at that hospital or facility that you worked at? You really want to show them and demonstrate to them what you've done. Another thing that's important is gaps in employment. You'll see in my second video when I go over the resume that I use is that I started my timeline a little later on in life than what most people would do. Generally for a job, you would kind of go back kind of far in terms of your employment history. For CRNA school, I wanted to include things that were going to be most relevant to that whole process of applying to CRNA school. But within that, I didn't have any gaps of employment. So if you have huge gaps like years and years, don't do that. Make sure that your resume is in chronological order and it includes your employment without those gaping holes. Another thing that I've seen is that people use too small of a font. If you are changing your font to a size like 7 or 8, you probably have information on your resume that can be cut out. Also, do not use fancy fonts and put your picture on your resume and do all those crazy things, because first of all, you're applying for CRNA school and not for like a graphic design position. So make sure that your resume can look nice. I'm not saying that it can't look nice, but pick a nice standardized format that's not too crazy, that you don't have numbers everywhere, and that it aligns properly. You want to make it easy for them to read the information that you put on the paper. You don't have to worry about it being cute, because you're not going to get points for being cute. You're going to get points for the information that is on the paper. Another thing that I recommend, and in some places it might not be possible, but to save your resumes in PDF format. I do this because it prevents things from getting shifted around. When they open up a PDF, you don't have to worry about it being an outdated version and they can't see it or can't open it like you would with the Word document. So if they allow you to submit your resume in a PDF format, do that. It makes it look crisp, it makes it look clean. It also allows for nothing to be changed or it to be edited unless you've locked the document prior. So those are basically my tips and tricks for the resume. And lastly, just grammar and spelling errors. Make sure you have a few people look at your resume. I had like 3 people look at my resume, and I still had one little minor spelling error. So if you would like me to talk about the structure of a resume and how to do that, comment below and let me know, and I can definitely make a video about how to do your resume, especially for people, there goes my paper, in the healthcare field. So on to part 2, we're going to talk about my resume. I'm going to walk right through it and let you know what I did, why I did it, and why my resume is only 1 page. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much, especially my Instagram fans. You guys are amazing. But thank you guys so much for watching.